Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Penny, and I am working on my Project Life album this year. This is my 2023 album, and today I will be working on week 41. I've pulled some very eclectic mixes of things. I went into my stash and I grabbed like my bag of scraps and realized I didn't have enough coordinating 4x6 cards, so I just grabbed some cardstock and cut it down to fit. DIY embellishment, with some little things in the background. This was something I cut out of a 12x12 maybe. It might have been a 3x4 card. I'm not 100% sure. This one was scraps, so it's just actually branding strips that I put on a white piece of 4x6 card, and I'm going to call it my background paper. What else can I tell you? Little cut apart pieces from the same collection. You can see these coordinate. And the rest of it is just kind of things I've pulled from random places around my craft room. I decided to try to do some stamping in brown this time. We'll see how we go. I grabbed this ink, which is probably dried up. And then I also have some Tim Holtz Distress inks. These are like the 1-inch cubes. As you can see, I've only got a couple of them. So we'll see how we go. Some thin washi, just in case. More little odds and ends. And then I grabbed some of my stamps. These all happen to be Citrus Twist, not sponsored. And I grabbed some other little things here on the side, some tiny words and just some little things that I'd like to try to use up. So I guess I will put you on fast forward while I get embellishing. So this layout took about 20 minutes to complete, and I fussed around with things quite a bit. It probably took closer to an hour if you count my typing, my journaling, and picking all my papers, and just kind of digging through my stash. So I guess my average layout is about an hour long, and you basically get to see the finishing stages of it. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing a video where I just have my photos and then how I choose my papers. But it's usually about an hour long process for me. And I'm not usually rushing. I tend to do these kinds of layouts on a Saturday morning, which is the day it is right now. And I enjoy being in my craft room, so right now I'm not kind of rushing to get things finished, and I'm just really enjoying the creative process. Of course, that's going to change here shortly when I start getting going on my December daily, because I don't know about you folks, but I usually feel pretty rushed, and like the creativity gets stifled a little bit when I'm under time constraints. So I think that's why a lot of people probably stop doing December daily. They feel very pressured and rushed, and a lot of us are in this hobby because we're perfectionists, let's face it. So, if you're just doing something to get it done, 98% of the time, you're not going to be happy. But in the end, your goal is to have something pretty and to document your memories. So I feel like that's something that a lot of us, including me, probably struggle with. Give me a thumbs up in the comments down below if you can relate. So I've pulled some puffy stickers, and these are actually not at all related to October or fall or any of those things, but the color palette matched, and I didn't have a huge amount of orange paper in my layout, but I wanted to pull some of the more orangey puffy stickers and embellishments, just because I find orange is a difficult color for me to use. I'm just trying to kind of throw some little things on the photos. This 4x6 here ends up being very word heavy. But in the end, it's fine. I have a lot of those little tiny word stickers and they need to get used up somehow. I'm kind of left with the ones that are very specific or are ones that I'm struggling to use. So this stage of things, it's more about getting them used and in layouts. I really liked those two ovals. Those are just pieces of scrap paper that I cut using like a scallopy oval die. I think the original intent was to use them on like Christmas cards or something, but that didn't end up happening. So they were just sitting in my stash in my Ziploc baggie for some of my more fall themed scraps and embellishments. So they ended up on the layout. I still have a ridiculous amount of scraps in that Ziploc baggie. One of these days I may just put the camera on and you can watch me die cut to see how I tackle my scrap piles. Alrighty friends, week 41, all done. In the end I ended up going with the black ink because all of my brown inks were getting kind of dried up and some of them are so old. I rarely use brown ink, so I didn't feel the need to keep them or refill them or anything. Some of those brown inks I think were bought at like Michael's probably 15 or plus years ago, so I figured if I'm not using them now, I never will. So garbage. This card here ended up being a little bit word heavy, but it's fine. And I forgot to mention that I did my journaling off camera on my typewriter. So all I did was kind of trace this edge here and then just in pencil. And then when I was doing all of my typing, I just adjusted where the words were going to be and kind of played around with the spacing and sizing and stuff. So, all right, I guess that is it for me for today. I may or may not post my very first December daily today, so stay tuned. And as always, thanks for coming to hang out with me, and I will see you next video. Bye for now.